Hello there everyone and welcome back. I think I fixed my volume so it should be a little bit louder now. Hopefully it is. If not, I'll work on it in the next video. That's kind of how I'm going to try and handle it. The last video is much quieter. I'm sorry about that. We'll try to work on it in this video. And why are you... Okay, sorry. I have to let my cat out of the room. He's like trying to dig out my door from the bottom. You wanna go out? Huh? You wanna go out? Right, get in here. You're fired. You're fired. Get out of my room. So, let me put my headset back on. Honestly, it's moments like that I kind of want to get a wireless headset. We're gonna play as Isaac again because I have a problem. I don't know why. It might be some kind of weird Pavlov-y thing. And maybe I need to work on it. But when I feel like rants coming on, I just really want to play some Isaac. So, we're playing some Isaac. I think I need to turn my headset up. Because I have, yeah, I usually have, like, all my sounds like, way quiet. D&D. Kamakoozles. Yeah, so, I have my headset, like, way quiet. I like the sounds of my computer way quieter. Because then I can always turn them up later. If that makes any sense. I'd rather have my headset on like 20%. My headset doesn't actually have percents, it just has okay, technically it has percents, but there's not like a dial I can set. It's literally just a spin wheel. But that is a dial. Shh. I know I messed up. But when I feel like ranting, I'm ready for some Isaac. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But when I feel like ranting or talking about something, I just feel like doing Isaac. Maybe I should just make a rant. Maybe I should make a rant channel. No, I'm way too lazy to make 2 channels. Actually, that's a lie. If there's enough need, I could definitely do that. I ain't touching another channel until I am either going to do something horribly dramatically different. I was about to say dramatically dramatic, but I guess I could do dramatic things. But if I'm not going to make a major change, I'm not going to make a new channel. So I'd have to be like, I am now going to make movie reviews. This is why I have a second channel. Which, I'll be honest, I've actually done multiple times. For, like, making different channels and stuff. But usually it's with someone. That's why I feel more comfortable making them, and then they always back out after, like, episode 1. Literally before episode 1 airs, they're like, yeah, nah, I don't want to do this shit. I mean, you told me we're not going to get, like, 300,000 views on our first video. I don't want to do this garbage, and I'm like, so I told you before we started recording, that's okay. Glad I spent, you know, 10 hours recording this with you. Or, like, working on it, you know, whatever. And then I thought about doing a big change, going into a big edited thing, and then, mental breakdown. I'm right there with you, buddy. I'm real close. I thought about doing that kind of stuff as well. Made another channel. Got mildly harassed on the name because they didn't like it. I mean, hey, it could be a bad name, but I was like, what about the Caucasian Asian? Because I'm Caucasian and my name is Asian. Like, nah, it's super racist. I was like, okay. I don't think it is, but hey. I decided not to do the, like, heavy scripted stuff. Because I just fell into a bad funk of depression. If I'm completely honest with you on it. Dead Onion. I like Dead Onion. A lot of people don't, I don't think, because it gives you, like... Anyway, I don't know. When I was playing Isaac on stream, a lot of people were like, why do you like that item? Item's crap. And I'm like, I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was nice. What's this, IV bag? No. Kind of wish I got that before I picked up the thingamabob. 99% sure it'll take away my thingamabob. There is a lot of hearts. There's a lot of money lost. Oh well. Look to the future, not the past. Also, my stomach hurts. This is a precursor. I think it's just because I have like some... What is it an ulcer? I think I like gave myself an ulcer because of the stupid shit at for school. Like a very minor one. Like there's no real need to be worried. I've just had some minor indigestion-y, stomach-y problems. I'll keep you updated on that. Shouldn't be anything. Maybe I shouldn't have even said that, but I don't know how to keep my mouth shut. That's one of the things I'm like actually kind of proud on is that I kind of can't keep a secret. I'm really bad at it. Like really bad at it. I just can't keep a secret. So it's not like I'm ever gonna really be hiding anything. I'm too stupid and say everything immediately. Except for like, I guess I am keeping a secret from you guys. No, I talked about it on stream. I just don't want to talk about it on YouTube because YouTube it can be called back to me, and I got like reconfirmation I wasn't supposed to say it. So oops. This is not something I want to keep hidden. It's the family situation, which about a month. About a month-ish, and then I can talk about it. Yeah. No. Yeah. I had to decide. I like it. It's cute. So, what I wanted to talk about is something I had a couple people bring up to me. And, honestly, it kind of disgusted me, is the concept. And this is going to be a very unpopular concept, I believe. Especially with everything going on right now with the COVID-19 shit. But I mostly wanted to address it because, I don't know, I guess I like addressing things on YouTube because it's like my preferred way of venting. Because then I can hear other people's thoughts, but they can't interrupt me. Because good friggin' lord, I hate it when people interrupt me. As does everyone. No one likes being interrupted. But this topic in particular, I get interrupted with a lot. Bringing it up. Type of stuff. I don't bring it up too often, but it involves finances, so, you know. 1, 2, 3. There's a chance. So what the topic is finances and the concept of pull yourself up by your bootstraps. And it kind of goes towards what the COVID-19 financial situation going on with the country is. Honestly, I don't like people kind of making light of others' finances and being like, well, why didn't you just have a good, hefty, I almost said trust fund. Why didn't you have money set aside already? Why didn't you have an emergency fund? Not everyone can afford it. I know that sounds stupid. It's the same thing like with insurance. The point of insurance is not... it's not like buying a car. Sorry, that's a terrible example. It's not like buying a video game. You can literally not have enough money to buy a video game. But insurances and things, the whole point of them existing is to save you in troubling times. Because you certainly can't afford... If you can't afford $100 a month, you can't afford $50,000. Commonly can't afford 50... you know, just standard medical bills. They're very expensive. So, like housing is... There's a lot of expensive stuff. And one of the things that I hear a lot is the pull yourself up by your bootstraps and be frugal concept. And I genuinely hate people bringing that up. Okay, what does this do? Sorry, we're going to talk about the shop for now. When used, that sounds like crap. No, it's got 6. Okay, that one's not that bad. Familiar that can tasks, opening doors and chests. Honestly, I don't like any of these. Okay, broken stopwatch. Yeah, slows down or speeds up time. I don't like either of this. So, back on what I was saying is the concept of pull yourself up by your bootstraps. If you don't know what that means, it means suck it up and deal with it. The concept stems from, you know, like if you're in trouble, you need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. It's you got yourself in this situation, just work hard and you'll get out of it. And I brought up some of my financial situations to someone because I don't know, I have no privacy, I guess. I'll talk about it with like anyone, so long as it's my things and doesn't involve other people, which is the only reason I'm not bringing up the other thing I mentioned earlier. But the concept of it, I actually find like really embarrassing listening to it, because just okay, just try harder is not a reasonable response in my opinion. Because you don't know what they're doing. You don't know what they're trying. You don't know how hard they're working. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Yeah, so ultimately you don't know. So, ooh, I like you. Don't belittle them by saying, like, just tough it out. Just work harder. Because I'm going to let you in on, like, one of the stupidest things, but it's also extremely true. Being poor is very expensive. If you don't know. If you haven't ever been in that situation, being poor is one of the most expensive things that you can do. It's really, really expensive to be poor. Because you can't, an example of food is you can't buy things in bulk. One of the best things you can do to, like, save money and things. Well, I have more HP, so. Is buying things in bulk. Like buying, just as an example, like buying 10 pounds of hamburger is much, much cheaper than buying 1 pound of hamburger. Okay, technically it's more expensive, but like the per poundage is cheaper. Because you buy 10 pounds of hamburger and it's 20 bucks. You buy 1 pound of hamburger and it's $4. And we're going to ignore quality. I'm going to say they're the same quality, because elsewise that's a different argument. Eating healthy, because going back to food, you can't eat healthy. Healthy food's expensive. You can buy, not the best example, but it's like if you go to Walmart, you can get McDonald's, you can get crap for $1. Actually can't anymore, but you can get crap for $2. At least you can't here. We don't have a dollar menu anymore. Here we have a value menu, which the cheapest thing on it I think is $1.50, $2. I think that's like a hamburger. So, dark times, my friends, dark times. What's this? Full health, awesome. Yeah, why not? We'll fight these guys. So, like, personally, I don't like the concept of just eat healthy. Or, sorry, just make more money, forehead. Like, that. There you go. I solved your problem. Have you tried just having more money? So I bring that up that it's expensive. I actually need to buy a new pair of boots soon. I had a pair of boots that were, to me, were really good. Like, they cost $150, which I think is pretty standard for boots. But legitimately, they were the nicest pair of shoes I've ever owned in my life. So, like, I was happy with my shoes. I've had them for, like, 4 years or something. I've had them for a good while. And I accidentally, they would have been good longer, but I almost stepped on my cat. One time when I was putting on my shoes, because he was just being a goober, ran, like, straight under my feet. I lost my balance, and I stepped back on it, and I, like, ripped out part of the, lining on, like, the not the heel, these are tall boots, so, like, on the back of my ankle. What is upper ankle? Shin. What's on the opposite side of your shin? On my back shin. But on my back shin, I accidentally ripped that part. So, like, I can use them for longer, but they're not. That shoe isn't very comfortable anymore. So I need new shoes. I'll kind of go into my finances on Patreon. Patreon's almost literally the only way I make money anymore. Not that huge, because we already had one. Ooh, little guardian. Clear off my curse. I should have blown those up. I had plenty of bombs. The fires. Also could have blown up the angel. Gotten part of the key. Could have just re-rolled it or taken the key. Yeah, so I need new shoes. Shoes are expensive. On Patreon, that's literally the only way I make money. Regularly, like monthly. Because I'm in school. For me to really make any money, or sorry, for me to really go to school, I can't work a job that pays me more than, like, I don't know, maybe $50 a week, or I might start losing some of my financial aid, and if I start losing my financial aid, then I can't do this, that. You know what I'm saying? Because if I lose my financial aid, it means all the money I'm making has to go into my schooling, but that's not how school works. School needs to take it out ahead of time. So, you know, I can't do that. I guess, like, I'm actually coming up to the point where I can, because school always uses a previous year's taxes for it. So I think on my final year of school, I can get a job, which I'm closing in on. Not really. I guess technically I am. And the last 6 months of school is what I mean, because I do have to do my financial aid one more time. Once I've done that, which will need to be done, I think in October. And then I have 8 months left of school, so in October, I guess I could go get one. What the heck? Why did I spawn 2,000 spiders? Okay. Spider Palooza. So once I do that, I could get a job. Currently, I also don't have transportation to work. The closest job that I can get is 30 miles from my house. So, well, I actually, I do have a car now. That was cool. I bought it like a couple days ago. I thought you said you didn't have money. It was a school loan. I got the money from school. It's not like I'm that close to the wire, but I don't want to risk it is like the #1 thing, because if I risk it, I have to drop out. Which means they're gonna, or sorry, not necessarily drop out, but I have to take a leave, quit the job, wait a couple years, which means I have to then pay back my interest, which means I have to wait multiple years without a job, or save up all of my money and then put that all towards schooling. So it ultimately doesn't make sense for me to get a job. If there's truly an emergency, then I'll do what I have to do, as most people will. I don't want to. Also, with the program I have, it is a elevated program. So it's designed to be really quick, and they're not forgiving on, like, extra work that needs to be done. like, you need to do the work. Period. So, like, I don't really want to work 40 hours a week and then spend, you know, this class that I've complained about multiple times, I have spent, I kid you not, this month about 80-ish hours working on the group assignments. Don't really want to, because that's about 20 hours a week, except for the first week was like 1 hour, because we just had a couple group meetings, which were just fun. Was just having fun. So honestly, it's like in 3 weeks, I've spent like 80 hours. I think this one's fun. Oh, right, it's a active item. It's not fun. Still Toxic Shock sucks. But anyway, yeah, I don't really want to spend that much time if I have a way to avoid it. Which currently I do. So, I'm going to take advantage of what I currently have going for me and not throw it away for shits and giggles. So, I can't go get a job because it is illogical. Because I will have more money in my pocket, but more money must come out of my pocket first. So, that makes no sense. Like, I would need to supply $20,000 out of my pocket beforehand. That makes no sense. Like, and with it, I'm getting a degree in game design. That's what I'm going for. And if you're wondering, like, well, hey, maybe there aren't jobs in game design, there is a, like, just flat literal good thing. I'll have a bachelor's degree. So I get a... Oh, I can work on Devil Deal. Never mind. I was actually going to just pop it right now. Just having a degree can help me get jobs, even if it's not in my field. My brother's wife got a job at a state farm just because she had a associate's degree. Her associate's degree is in culinary. At the time, it was in culinary. She also has one in criminal justice, too. But it is a nonsense degree. In accord to the field she's in, it means literally nothing. Which is what I'm saying. Not insulting her degree. Because obviously culinary, you know, can be very helpful. So it's just the fact, and a lot of employers are like this, they don't care at all, just so long as you have a degree in any form, they're willing to give you a pass. There's 2 on the floor, I really don't care. Thank you. Sure. I mean, I'm just not gonna leave it there. So that's like I have planned for the worst case scenario. Just in case anyone was worried about me. And if you're worried about me, thank you. I appreciate that. Nope. Yes. It isn't going to be like too big a deal. I just need to get through the initial process. And to get through the initial process, I just need to honestly just bait my time. Don't like that, so let's actually re-roll it again. I'm okay with that. I don't know how good it is. That's poo-poo. There you go. Double keys. This doesn't refill it, right? Yes, it does. So, wait a second. Isn't there a health thingamabob? Okay. Sorry. So, yeah. So I don't have money. All my money comes from Patreon. It comes from literally one person. I make $8 a month. That's it. That's where all of my money comes from. I think it's like $8.50 a month. If you look on it, it might say 8 or 9. I think it's like $8.50, $8.70, something like that. If you think I'm lying because I said 8 and it shows 9, then it's 9. It doesn't matter. I don't make a lot of money. Is what I'm saying. Ooh, that's a lot of money. So, I also make money from Twitch, from people subscribing. Thank you very much, subscribers. You're beautiful, beautiful people. I can't thank you guys enough for the support you show. Grab that. I'll grab this because I'm a glutton. And I'd like to... Damn it! I spent the penny. Yeah, so I make, in a 4-month period, I collectively make 100 and, like, $50, maybe. Which, if you're smart, you know that's not a lot of money. You know, it's pretty hard math. But it's very little money. And this is not a ploy to get you guys to give me more money. Screw it. I'm not going to reroll Toxic Shock. I could have rerolled it anyway, but now I'm mad, so I'm just leaving. So, it's not even that I'm trying to ask for more money or anything. Honestly, just legitimately, if you watch the video, thank you. I can't... Okay. I didn't know it was going to drop that many hearts. So. Well, I guess I used one too many. Whoops. I'm thankful enough just people watching the videos. But I make $150 every 4 months. So let's just say I make $40 a month. I know that's 160. Shh. So I make $40 a month. I had someone trying to give me financial advice. And it was laughably stupid. They could not understand what I meant by, you can only have good finances if you have money. And they're like, no, everyone can have good finance. This is good for everyone. I'm like, okay. Let me explain why it's a stupid thing. You're telling me to save $1,000. Make sure, no matter what, I have $1,000 in the bank. Yeah, it's a really good idea. Where am I getting the $1,000? We have to save up for it. Okay, I make $40 a month, and I have to, for me to continue doing what I do, I have to buy some stuff. Like, I have to look at what could be interesting for people in games and stuff, and a lot of that also comes from my personal money. Obviously, this is it's a shitty business, like, for me to call it a business, because makes no money. No real money. But, I also have other bills. I have my medications to buy. I have food I need to buy. Like, there are things I need to buy. I need to buy equipment, stuff like that. If anything happens to my equipment. So there are things I have to buy. How am I going to save up $1,000? And then it's like, save up X money for this, save up X money for that. Literally never take out a loan. Have you looked at how the world works? Like, it's technically good advice, because taking out a loan is very dangerous. If you don't know, loans have interest on them. I know, shocker. But loans have interest on them, and the interest can be really, really killer. Because what interest is you're giving them money because they gave you money. That is how it's supposed to work. That's not what bothers me. Because they put capital up as a risk. So their return is you getting the interest on it. So I understand the concept. That's money that you're spending that could be in your pocket. I'm not foolish. I do understand that. If I don't have the money to fix my car, just as an example, if I lose a tire, I can't get to work. What did my magic savings bank give me? Like, yeah, the $1,000. Let's say I haven't saved that because most people don't have $1,000 of disposable income. I think the statistic is that, like, half of America can't survive a $500 unexpected without taking out a loan. When I say taking out a loan, I also do mean credit cards. Because people just don't have money. Oh, also keep in mind, I'm not a financial... What are they called? I'm not an economic... Take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. I may not know what the hell I'm talking about. Except for the fact I do on this. Because if you don't have money, you can't save the money. So, don't tell me to be more frugal when I'm not being frugal with $8 a month. Because usually what I do is I usually hold off on buying a new game until I get my Twitch check or some other larger sum of money. And with the $8, I usually put it towards some indie game, a humble bundle, or I buy myself a pizza. That's what I spend my money on. Yes, I could be saving my money better. For me to save $1,000 in an emergency fund, it will take how long? Well, 10 months, I only make $8 a month, is $80. So 100 months. How many years is that? Oh, like 8 years? It's a little bit more than 8 years, but it's 8 years. I've been at this in June for 7. I still would not hit that $1,000. So, you're stupid. Telling me that I need to tighten up my bootstraps. A lot of people live paycheck to paycheck, and that sucks pee-pee holes. I know, most people do not have such bold opinions as I. Yeah, the apple's the good one. The other one's bad. I say bad, I don't really think it's bad, I just... Yeah, so even now, I would not have been able to spend a cent. Some of the games that I brought in more people, literally this game I bought with money I got from... Okay, well, I bought this from donations, but it kind of goes to the same thing. I don't get that many donations, which is fine. I appreciate literally every cent people give me. I'm not trying to ask for more money. But you can't save every cent you've ever made. I have made over $1,000 in the 8 years in donations, in Twitch money. I think I've made collectively $2,000 or $3,000, which I am very proud of. That has gone to paying off loans, buying food, buying medicine. I mean, I think I've spent like I'm pretty lucky, but I've spent like $200 on medicine since I got the medicine I needed. I'm very lucky it's cheap. But that's already a large chunk of it gone. And we've come across financial problems. Things break. I need to get it now. Like if my microphone breaks, I can't wait for that because I can't release anything without a microphone. Telling me to be more frugal is stupid. I do not want to hear it because you didn't listen to my situation. Yet you spat your own rhetoric out, which I know, a lot of people do that. But this person, I specifically was like, you don't understand. There are people who can't do that. Man, if only I could get money equals power here, that'd be awesome. This run, I think it's too late, but that would have been hilarious. This is all finances. I'm sorry, I don't know. I promise I'll record an Isaac episode after this that is not talking about finances. He's not complaining. I'll just play an Isaac episode. I don't know. This is a Pavlov thing. Whenever I'm like, I gotta complain about things, I'm like, Isaac looks sexy. Well, that was nice. Yes. When Isaac has no red hearts, this item gives Isaac the ability to fly and a chance to trigger a shield. So 1 heart for 2 reds, good? No. Because I'm going to reroll it. It's literally better than the suicide pill. I don't like black powder. I would actually rather not take it. I don't want evil either. I might reroll it. I'd rather not take it and have a chance to reroll it. By get a deal with the devil after fighting the boss. So yeah, it was just very irritating. And the person actually said I should not be going to college because I had to take out a loan for college. And apparently they make the maddest money on earth because very shortly after college they're going to be able to pay off their debt. That's awesome. They're working for minimum wage right now. And going to the same school I am, it's $50,000 for them. I don't know how the hell they're gonna get it, but I'm proud of you for having more money than me. I was gonna say being more financially sound, but you're not. Is that an insult to them? No. Not even remotely. Because you have more money. That's good. I'm glad. But I'm not going to say you understand finances better than I do. Because you don't. You understand your finances better. They're like, well, my family did this. And I'm like, cool. Do they have the capital to start? You can't save money. I mean, you technically can. But it goes to it takes you dozens and dozens of years. Or I probably should just say dozens of years. Well, no, that's wrong. It takes you several years to make an even minor dent on finances. Like, if you only have $50 extra a month, to get that buffer period of $1,000, you can't spend a cent on yourself for... Yes. I will take this, too. I like the Satanic Bible. Oh, how could you say that? I fucking do it again. So, yeah. And the other one is, someone was talking to me about, like, the stimulus package, and I will preface this, first and foremost. I currently do not have a job. So, if they're not going to give me the stimulus package for the COVID, fine. Do I want the money? Hell yes. Would it help? Hell yes. Especially with everything going on, hell yes it would. Is it gonna happen? I don't fucking know now. Don't look into it. It'll make you sad. It made me sad. But... There's more to things. So the comment that was brought up was, everyone should just have a savings in it. Which I do, everyone should just have their savings. And I do not agree with that statement. Because, as with so many of these things, there are people who legitimately either do not feel they can, or things like that. And the argument was, it's like, well, yeah, but, you know, what is a necessity but a miserable pile of secrets? No, but what is a necessity? People bring up phones aren't necessities. People bring up internet's not a necessity. People bring up television isn't a necessity. Anything that is not literally... what's this one do? I can't see. Spawn and attack. I'd rather have 2 to 5. but having what classifies as a necessity is something very hard to define, because it's just hard to define, because it depends on if you mean like a societal necessity, a literal necessity, because you don't need a house. That's not a necessity. You can live under some brush. A house is not a necessity. So long as you have somewhere that does not kill you to lay your head, you do not need anything else. You do not need food that is healthy for you. You do not need food that brings any joy to your life. You literally need sustenance. You can eat grass. You can hunt everything you want, whatever. This is not a pro or anti-hunting thing. It's just there's more to necessities. You could literally be homeless. The homeless shelter provides a roof over your head. You do not need a job. You don't. But a realistic aspect of looking at life, that is not. Because you do need a job. Or, someone has to support you in some fashion. But you do not need money. Technically. You do not need money. You can just live off the land in Alaska. I mean, technically that's their job if you want to argue it that way, but you do not need cash. You do not need you do not need currency. You need food. But if you get to those levels, and I'm not saying like you can't live without internet, but for a lot of them, just it's a dangerous thing to like call out what is a need and what isn't. Because what isn't a need to you may be a need for someone else. Like, I need internet because my sources of income come from internet. My school requires internet. You could also follow that up. You don't need to go to school. There are so many things that, fall under that. So, there are things that I agree with that statement. Because, I know a lot of people personally who, like, almost abuse being poor to the fact that they don't acknowledge that there is a level of responsibility that comes with your purchases if you're talking about having no money. When you throw a couple $100 away on your sister's birthday present, she did not need a couple $100. Why didn't you just get her something else? You can't pay your bill. Why did you spend a couple $100 on her? You do not always need the newest phone. You do need a phone. Because certain jobs will not hire you if you do not have a means of communication. Certain jobs will not hire you if you do not have a home, which is actually a lot of them. Which is one of the things I find really disgusting when, like, there are homeless people out there and they're like, hey, give me food, or give me money for food, or whatever, give me food. And then, an employer will go stand out beside them and they're like, ha 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 ha, see, they're lazy. Would you hire them? Why don't you ask him to come inside? Him, her, doesn't matter. Why don't you ask them to come inside and offer them a job? No, you stand out there and make them look like they're worthless. So don't pretend like you're the magical charity god. Because you're righting the wrong of them stealing your money. They took our gerbs. So, I don't know. It just, like, I brought up, I was like, not all Americans can handle the surprise of this. And the response was, well, actually, they can. Sorry, they could have. There's a difference between can and could have. And that distinction is made. It was basically just saying that they wasted their money. Which, I can't lie, there are a lot of people who do waste their money. It's tough. I do not think entertainment is a waste of money. It's going back to bite me. It falls up on a mental health thing of needs. People need entertainment. You do not need a PS5 for entertainment. If video games are your source of entertainment, buy a PS4 now, because the PS5 is coming out. Buy a PS3 now. You know, it's still entertainment. It's not the newest entertainment. That's fine. Doesn't matter. I wouldn't go back too much farther than that, just because then they like start to not work and actually go up in price. But a PS3 is like $150, and games are, you know, anywhere from $5 to $30 depending. And I'm excluding like the you know, really niche ones, because obviously if it's a rare game, it's rare. But things like Call of Duty cost nothing, so you can still get your entertainment out of it, because entertainment. Okay. It still is a need. I don't know. It irritates me because I don't like the concept of it. He is more well-to-do, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. He's worked hard to get where he is. But it does feel hollow when someone who is well off is telling someone who is like super poor that you should have just tried harder. Why don't you just suffer for the next 10 years? Because then you may have a job that can pay you well. And while that is ultimately how the world works, because the world will not hand you anything, I don't think it should. There's a degree that I still don't agree with it. There are certain items that the price of them is way too high. It is ridiculous. That's not someone's fault because something's a ridiculous price. They do not have the money, but that does not mean that they're, I don't know, like not worthy of it. It's a very poor way to word it, because he wasn't wording it that negatively, but it was just frustrating hearing that phrasing of like they should have already been prepared for this. The point of like emergencies is that people are not prepared, because no, sorry, not emergencies. The point of an unexpected event is that you're not prepared because it was unexpected. That's like saying, why weren't you prepared? Why didn't you save up $2 million because you could have gotten cancer? That's stupid. It makes no sense. So, I understand where he's coming from. I don't like the sentiment of just try harder, forehead, because it's the same thing of you could have just pulled yourself up by your bootstraps. Technically, yes. Oh, I didn't see you down there. There are a lot of things where you could have, quote-unquote, just tried harder. You do not need to go to school for a degree that you're not going to use for a job, period. That's stupid. Makes no sense. Sure. No. Like, I'm gonna bring this up because it's an easy target, but don't hate me for it, or you know, just whatever. I have a degree in women's studies. Just as an example, I'm going for game design. I have a degree in women's studies. Oh, okay. Are there jobs in it? No. No. Why do you have that degree? Huh? Isn't that useless? No. No, I have a degree. Women's studies. I'm pretty cool. It makes no sense. It's not an applicable field. Um, like with game design or anything. And I guess it also kind of comes down to, like, I'm a passion-driven person. If I lose the passion in my life, like, not to a real degree, so do not take this, like, super seriously to heart, whatever. But if I don't have passion in my life, I don't have a will to live. I just don't. So, telling someone, work a job you hate for the next 5 years is a hard statement to swallow. I feel that it's kind of shallow-minded. Unless they've specifically, like, actively put themselves in that situation and are actively turning down anything that could be, you know, helpful or whatever. Like, if from Maine, I'm like, I'm gonna live in the middle of New York City in a penthouse. Ain't gonna fucking happen. Do you have money? No, ain't gonna fucking happen. Maybe I could make that happen if I made, like, you know, I could work some horrible job I hate. Maybe, but to have a place to stay. Because the other thing that was brought up is don't just rent, buy a house, and I'm like, you can't do that. You have to have the capital ahead of time or they won't give it to you. Well, it's better to own a home, and it is. Except for the fact that homes have unexpected expenses that if you don't have money, ta-da, you have to take loans out. Thus, not a sound financial plan. But this has been Ayumu Talks about politics. Wait, no, not politics. I briefly addressed it just because of the COVID stuff. But this has been Ayumu Talks about finances. Thank you very much for watching. If you got to this point, I don't know, tell me what 4 times 4 is. Don't tell me. Don't type 4. No, yeah, literally type 4 times 4 equals 16. Just type that to me. I'll know. And then people are like, what the hell are you talking about? And then you'd be like, just watch a video, man. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. We'll be back with more Isaac next day. That Isaac goes live. Next one won't be involving any of this heavy talk. We're just going to play Isaac. So, thank you. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.